There will be ample opportunity to continue the conversation in about 15 minutes. But first, we have a number of presentations from the innovative solution developers who are here in the room. We've given each business and each presenter 2 minutes. That's what you in business speak call an elevator pitch. Only 2 minutes, the time it takes for the elevator to reach the top. They'll present their digital solutions from all over Europe and tell you about the product potential and barriers that they meet trying to enter and work in a cross-border market. And this is really a way of illustrating some of the key challenges that you as policymakers must deal with and that the users, the businesses and consumers experience. I'll be the timekeeper to stick to these strict 2 minutes each, and the presentations will come just one after the other. So it's about holding on and staying focused. So, ready to get started? So to kick off the spectacle, please welcome Business Manager Jens Branebjerg from the Danish research and technology provider Delta. He will introduce you to their new health tech solution.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I have the pleasure to present to you a new patient monitoring system, and it's wireless, as you see. It integrates all the electronics we need for a measurement into one patch. And today I don't wear a tie, but the e-patch, as you can see it measures my heartbeat and my heart rhythm. So it can transmit this to my mobile phone, further on to the healthcare system, and back I'll get information on how I should treat my own illness. My doctor could get the same data, and he could maybe advise me to change my medication plan. In that way, I am empowered to live with my disease. That's the same for many other chronic illnesses. We see that it could be the way to get patients out of hospitals and in that way treat people at home. But the data we have, it could be nice for me to send it to my doctor in Denmark or in Germany or in wherever, where I can get the best advice. So when it comes into this, I think next slide, that we also can see this could accelerate many things in Europe. It could accelerate that we could get this new technology to work, but also to interchange data around these things. So we need some more public-private development in that way, that we can make the technology, but the public providers have to develop new treatments, and also maybe you should look into how we can send data from one country to the other that still is sensitive personal data. Another thing is when I go home to my home, I want this patch to send data to my wireless system at home or to my new mobile phone. In that way we need standards, so this data could be standardized and sent around these mobile medical devices. Okay, this is how our new e-patch is working, and you can hear more over here. Thank you.
Thank you, Jens. So, moving on, we shall now hear from Managing Director Antonio Frias from Redcoon, and he'll tell the story of an originally German e-trader who has succeeded in crossing borders.
Good morning. Founded in Germany in 2003, Redcoon is now #1 specialized online shop for consumer electronics goods in Europe. But quickly we realized that acting decentralized makes us stronger. So we raise local teams of professionals in the countries for managing local issues like customer support, marketing strategy, pricing, and nevertheless handling the language the right way. However, it's very costly to enter a new country with its own needs. That means that Redcoon needs almost a whole year to develop an optimal web shop appropriate to a given European state. The potential of Redcoon, it's shown, presented in 10 European countries, growing and increasing turnovers continuously, and now for 2014 aiming the billion, including expansions to other European states. Selective distribution from the industry feels more and more like stepping on a brake in the evolution of e-business. We know that this tool is wrongly applied by trying to control sales prices and free circulations of goods. Misusing this power makes that this emerging market do not develop like it could. We need a free, open, a fair market for all players. Also, differences in consumer rights must be aligned within all European countries. Doubts of the customers must be easy answered by unified rules. For example, do I have really 2 years warranty or not? Please align consumer rights in all Europe. And last but not least, the question of trust. Consumers are often skeptical of purchasing from foreign companies. Remember, we are formerly a German company. Developing a unique European-wide trust mark will increase customer trust and confidence and will help us fight better against fake web shops all over Europe. Help us making a trustful market in a still hostile environment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Frias. Now, in Portugal, they have introduced mandatory digital procurement procedures, also known as e-procurement. CEOs Paulo Magina and João Almeida from the National Agency of Public Procurement in Portugal, who over here, they have made a film for you to see on the potentials and the barriers to e-procurement. Let's watch the film.
Every government procures goods and services, and Portugal is no exception. The traditional procurement system in Portugal worked as in every other country in the European Union, but neither efficiently nor effectively. It was an expensive, complex and slow process that required multiple levels of bureaucracy. So the question was, how could we make public procurement cheaper, easier and faster, while satisfying the goals of increased accountability, transparency and competitiveness? The answer was e-procurement. The success of the adoption of mandatory e-public procurement in Portugal was based on the commitment of all stakeholders. Gone are the days of routing paper forms from desk to desk, the endless bureaucracy and wasted time. The old model was replaced with a new paradigm, where all contracting authorities belonging to the central administration and all public bodies use e-procurement to fulfill their needs. All procedures are done through e-tendering. All proposals are opened at the same time. All competitors know which proposal won and why. The new system allowed Portugal to increase transparency through streamlined and efficient procurement processes, increase competition and access, reducing the barriers that small and medium-sized enterprises face when competing for public sector contracts, increase savings by enabling faster transactions and less use of paper, which led to an overall gain of increased efficiency. With e-public procurement, all parties won. Our national mandatory system is today a successful reality, as recent data shows. We have also reached a 91% e-procurement ratio according to the Manchester Ministerial Declaration. But our major goals are much more ambitious, offering all components of the public procurement chain in one single web-based tool. One access point and data management for the different stakeholders. Real-time data monitoring and control for the entire procurement process. We envision e-procurement as a facilitator for improving our work, business and exchanges within the single market. For us, public procurement is e-procurement. There is no other way. At the moment, we have a fragmented e-procurement landscape in Europe, making it difficult for European companies to bid on calls for tenders across borders. The challenge is to promote interoperability, e-signatures, e-authentication and e-identification mechanisms, which can only be achieved through collaboration between all member states. Portugal is ready for that challenge.
Thank you, Paulo and João. I like this green wave coming from Portugal, taking over digital Europe. All right, now it is time, all the way from Spain, to welcome CEO Jordi Plana from Spenta. He will introduce us to the world of future communications between public authorities and citizens. The scene is yours.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I will tell you about the solution we built called StreetCare. StreetCare is an award-winning cloud application that allows citizens to participate in the care of their cities. They can upload photos of graffitis, litter, potholes, which then can be viewed on web maps by all other citizens. Governments have a back office where all requests are centralized and managed, so they can update, report status, and share it publicly. Citizens can then monitor on how local councils are acting on the reports. This is the main screen of the application, where you can see that an abandoned car has been reported next to the stadium. On the right-hand side, you can apply search filters on reports by status, by type, and even by days outstanding, which of course might be a bit embarrassing for some local councils. At the bottom, you can also see the social conversation around reports. The main goal of the solution was to empower governments to better serve citizens in a cost-effective way and at the same time engaging with the citizenship. We believe StreetCare provides value for all stakeholders. It is value for the citizens as it meets their requests to connect with governments. It is value for governments as it helps improve transparency and accountability to taxpayers. And finally, the cost-effective cloud infrastructure allowed a small company like ours to build this solution and reach geographies we never thought of. Unfortunately, we see a few barriers for massive deployment and overall competitiveness. Public authorities are not buying cloud solutions due to unbound security risks, unfounded security risks of cloud computing, as well as fears of not being compliant with national or EU policies. We think a mindset change is required, as well as a better dialogue with industry early on in the procurement process. And with that, I thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mr. Plana. Now, last but not least, please welcome the founder and CFO, Mr. Peter Wilmer Christensen from the Danish green tech company GreenWave Reality, who'll tell you more about how to be green in a cheap way.
Thank you. Yes, in the next 2 minutes, I will explain how we in Europe can save 12% of our total energy consumption and actually get the investment needed recouped in less than a year. When we look at the world surrounding us, we see more and more intelligent devices, but we also see 220 million households in Europe, which still is full of appliances, heating and lighting, with no intelligence at all. We have at GreenWave Reality invented systems to build that intelligence into these devices. And by doing that, securing that the consumer can save up to 30% of his energy consumption. The trick is that this system also connects to the utilities providing the energy. And in this manner, we are actually building an important bridge to the smart grid of Europe with a very little investment. There is, though, a lot of barriers to really make this successful. We are in a universe of a lot of standards, and there's no doubt that you as public policy makers could help with strategic enforcement of new standards to make it even easier for us and our colleagues to have these technologies rolling out in Europe. We are already present in 15 countries with our products, but a further encouragement of these open technologies would make it even better for all of us. I have 2 examples of our products here, and you are welcome at our booths to see it played in practice. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Peter. So these were the 5 presentations from the organizations represented here in the room that show some of the potentials, but certainly also some of the barriers surrounding the digital internal market. I hope you found them interesting, enlightening, maybe even provoking. And in a way, you know, they really illustrate, again, the connection between end users, between business and the work that you're doing today and in the future. I'll encourage you really now to go and visit and chat and go into dialogue at the different booths in this room to find more about you know, the different solutions, but also to hear about those policy challenges. Moreover, and that is of course also important, here next to me, sort of little hidden away over here, is a set of is a table with new Nordic treats that you're very welcome to sample and have a taste of if you didn't get enough last night.